Today we are reviewing the 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy Edition. Now this Santa Fe is on its second year of its new generation, and I must say, I absolutely love it. What do I love about it? Well, let's dig in. All right, let's kick things off by getting our 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe up here with us. So we've got a remote start option here on our key fob. Those front vents open up because they are functional, but hey, the Hyundai's too far away. Notice nobody's in it currently, so we're gonna go ahead and pull it up to us. I'll just stand here, no big deal. But man, don't you love that front end? You know, a lot of people say it's controversial, they don't like it or whatever, but personally, I love it. You've got the daytime running light running all the way through the center. I will say though, one thing I don't like is this top half of the grille here is actually non-functional. They look like vents, but they're not. However, this lower portion is functional. So you do get some functionality there. And then of course, these ginormous H headlights. So these are your turn signals. The giant H is your turn signals, and then you've got stacked up LED headlights there, but on top and bottom there. Same thing for the other side. And then again, the lower part of the grille is just a massive bronze H. Another thing too, I do really love this paint job. This matte, like copper, man, it just looks really good. And then like you saw when we started it, these vents here opened up so they're functional and powered. And then your front camera here, a little bit of a odd position, and see now the car just shut off and they closed. And then down here again, functional vents with your parking sensors and another set of functional vents on the sides. I just think it looks really good, especially because of the color and the matte black flush emblem there on the side. Moving along to the side, we do have, again, matte black, but ginormous 21-inch wheels wrapped in these low profile summer tires. Overall, it just looks really good. I will say, I'm not huge on the glossy black fender. I would have rather seen it be the copper, but overall it does actually look pretty good nonetheless. And then we've got a nice Santa Fe badge here. For some reason they made it look like it's got a vent and it doesn't. I don't know why they did that. You'll notice a lot of ruffles all over the car. I think they really like ruffles. But for your side view mirrors, you do have painted in the matte copper, so I really like that. It looks absolutely fantastic. And then your turn signal indicator and a camera at the bottom here. And the mirrors do also move. When you put it in reverse, they tilt down to help you see a little bit better. And they also have lane departure warnings, so overall, big ups there. And of course, the handles are painted to match the car as well. And at the bottom here, we do have more of that glossy black running all the way from the front to the back. And then they also supplied you with a hiding spot for your illegal things. No, I'm just kidding. So you use this handle here to get up to your roof rails in case you're putting bikes or kayaks or whatever you might put up there. And the nice thing is, you can actually lock it shut by utilizing this right here. So if you don't want anybody putting illegal things in your handle, you can stop them from doing so. Beyond that, we do have our gas cap. It is not a locking one, which is a little strange, but you just push it and it pops open. One thing I like to see is that I'm not seeing a premium fuel requirement on here, so that's great. Save the pocketbook a little bit. And as you're wrapping around to the back of the Santa Fe, you do have your rear brake lights and turn signals over here on the side, and they just kind of follow along the hips to the rear. You know, a lot of people don't like the positioning of them. It seems to be a big debate online, and even here with Steve. Steve thinks that they're too low too, but at the end of the day, I actually think it looks pretty good. If you notice, I mean, they are about waist level. The top is much higher, so I think that's why it visually looks off. But Steve did make a good point earlier when we were debating about it, and he thinks that they should remain at eye level, and that does make sense. I can agree with that. But aside from that, you have massive Santa Fe in that matte black here through the center, another matte black logo, and then your dual stacked lights. And again, with the H theme, you've got the H right there in the taillights. Below the taillights, you do have more of that ruffling I was talking about. So it's kind of strange. There's just ruffles everywhere. Not sure the purpose. I guess it's just little style points. But you do have a nice exhaust tip It looks pretty clean down there. And then up at the top, we have a nice spoiler. I like it. And hey, the windshield wiper is actually hidden up under the spoiler. I want to see that more often. It just looks so much cleaner without that down here. Looks great. But your rear camera, this one is actually for your rear view mirror because it's a digital rear view mirror as well. And then down here you have your reverse camera. So fantastic. All right, now that we've gone over the exterior of the Santa Fe, let's check out the interior and see if anything's changed for 2025. Right off the bat, it just looks luxurious and classy, sleek and chic. I just love it. I think it looks great. You know, this is plastic right here, this fake wood panel, but man, it just looks really good, especially matched up with this white leather and the brown and the gray leather. The contrast going on here is just next level. Their design team did amazing. I can't believe I'm saying that about a Hyundai, but you've got the painted silver door handles, a couple memory seat functions, your side view mirror controls, your lock buttons, and all one-touch window operations for your windows. Love to see that. Make it easy. And then your door sill. You have a silver Santa Fe door sill. A little bit of style points there. Looks real nice and clean. And just from standing here, I can see H's everywhere. Hyundai just loves H, I guess. But you've got an H here on the vent. All throughout the dash, it looks like many H's everywhere, but these nice leather seats just look fantastic too. Very clean, love the perforation, and more H's on the stitching of the seats too. Now, as far as the seats go, you do actually have 14-way power control here because you've got your typical controls for your bottom half and your top half, but then you also have this leg rest that comes out as well as 4-way lumbar control. So you are going to get more comfortable than you get in your lazy boy at home when you're sitting in the Santa Fe. So how about I sit in it now and check out how comfortable it is. Now, speaking of getting comfortable in your lazy boy at home, why I mentioned that you can get just as comfortable here is because these seats actually have a relaxation mode. There we go. You push the back one to go into relaxation mode, and it slowly just puts you into pure bliss. So we're gonna get comfortable while we wait for the wife to get out of the salon and just sit here and take a nap. Fantastic. I love it. And then to get out of it, you know, just press that button again the other way and it'll go back into your normal driving position. Anyways, while this is continuing to move me back, let's check out what's going on here. To the left of the steering wheel, we do have this vent. I like these vents. They're very easy to operate. You can lock them by pushing it to the left, open them by the right, and again, you've got the H there. I like the chrome with the black. It all just looks really clean. Again, more of that plastic wood grain, but overall it just looks really good. It's not too flimsy. It's not moving a bunch when I'm squeezing it. Overall, the build quality seems really solid for all the different materials they have going on here. But then below that, we do have our electronic parking brake, our digital gauge cluster brightness, our rear hatch release, and traction control. As for the steering wheel itself, I just think it looks absolutely fantastic. You've got the gray on the outer side and the white on the inside. Overall, it looks really good. I'm not sure what's going on with the badging here though. This is just a little strange. I don't get it. But on the left-hand side, you've got your driver's assistance features, and on the right-hand side, you've got your multimedia functions. Because this is a gas model, we actually do have manual shifting paddles. Now, if you're looking at the hybrid model, these are not for shifting your car. They are instead for your regenerative braking. So, something to note, if you get the hybrid, you don't get to manually shift. But beyond those, we do have our very typical stalks going on. We've got our turn signal and light stalk on the left. On the right-hand side, we've got our windshield wipers and rear window wipers. And below that, you've got your gear selector. So you twist the end up is towards drive, and bottom is reverse. And then on the end of the stalk is where your parking button is. And then you've got this little watchful eye here behind the steering wheel. This makes sure that you're paying attention if you're using the lane assist or anything like that, and it'll yell at you if you're not. So keep your eyes on the road, not on your phone. But behind our steering wheel, we have two massive 12.3-inch screens, one for our digital gauge cluster, one for our infotainment center. And of course, this has over-the-air updates and all the latest Hyundai software. So it is very smooth, responsive. You've got everything you need there. Overall, I really like it. And even better than that, you also have a heads-up display that you can't see, but it is there. And we've got our rear view mirror that is both normal and video. So that's always great, especially if you're towing something or you've got a lot of people in the car. Very handy. But it also has 3 home link buttons, so you've got those on the left, and on the right hand side is how you navigate the menus when you're in your digital rear view mirror. Above that, you've got an SOS button, you've got some dome light controls, and then you also have the 2 controls for your 2 moonroofs. However, the caveat is only the front one opens, the rear one does not. But overall, I just really love that you've got 2 moonroofs in here. Let's go. Moving on, below the infotainment center, again, you've got this massive designed dash here, and like you've got H. I mean, it's just everywhere. But again, more of those vents that are nice and easy to control. I love the wooden panel that runs throughout. You've got different tones going on here. I mean, 1 tone, 2 tones, 3 tones, 4 tones, 5 tones, 6 tones. I mean, come on, let's go. Looks great. Very clean, luxurious, sleek, chic, all the toppings. But below there, you do have a set of buttons and controls. So these buttons are actually to help you navigate the infotainment center without having to dig through the infotainment center. So you can press home to go home, map, search, media, etc. And then here is your HVAC controls. I love that they're not built into the screen. Instead, they're built into this screen here. And it's actually very intuitive, simple to use, and it's got everything you need, from your heated and ventilated seats for both of your front driver and front passenger, as well as a heated steering wheel, your AC controls, and your rear controls. Great. Auto hold button so that you don't have to keep your foot on the brake when you're at that stoplight. Your drive mode selectors, you've got snow mode, your custom drive mode, sport and normal, 4-wheel drive locker, great. The auto start so that you can turn that off, because it is the most annoying thing you've ever encountered in a car. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. And then your downhill acceleration control, your 360 cameras, and your parking assistance. Another thing that I actually really love about this Santa Fe, and I would love to see more manufacturers do it, because it's just very handy. I mean, how often are you going on trips or out with your wife or whatever, and of course she forgot to charge her phone. So she's not taking your charging pad anymore because there's 2. I think that's a big win. But other than that, you do have 2 Type-C USB ports. One is for data, one is for just power, and you can press that button to switch it up. And then, what's this button do, you might be asking me? UVC. I've never seen that in a car before. Well, it's a UV cleaner. So you turn it on and you put your dirty stuff in there and it cleans it. Hey, I didn't know I could wash things in my car. Aside from the little cubby that you have right here, there's also another cubby below that right here on top of your glove box, and a well-sized glove bin. I think overall, lots of storage options, very nice. But then back to our center here, we do have 2 large cup holders, big enough for like a Yeti water bottle, not necessarily one of the giant ones like I have. And then beyond your cup holders, you do have this little center console here. It's nice and deep. I would have liked to see it have some softer materials in here, because this is all plastic. It's going to make a lot of noise if you have like coins and things in there. But it is nice to see you get a little divider at least, so that you can separate things out or whatever you need. Now, if you don't think that's weird, how about this? But below your center console, you do have more storage. So you've got this big opening here. You can put lots of stuff down there. Now that is big enough for a giant Yeti water bottle. That's where I put mine at. How about we hop in the rear and see what's going on back there, because it does not stop up here. All right, getting into the rear, the doors are just as nice as the front doors, absolutely. However, one thing I am going to massively complain about, because I know kids are forgetful. We all know, right? Why are the cup holders on the door? Just imagine that gross Coca-Cola getting slammed in the door while it's right here. It's gonna be all over your beautiful white seats. But even better, these captain chairs are fully powered. So the bottom half and the top half are powered. And not only that, if you've got someone big like Uncle Steve in here, he can get a little bit more comfortable by pulling the seat up. So hey, that's great. But getting into it, it's a pleasure back here. You've got more H's right here and right here. So, you know, they're keeping that stylization going. You got some bag hanging hooks. I mean, great for the whole family, right? But what's this? A drawer for more things. This one does have a little bit of velvet at the bottom, so it won't be quite as noisy as that other one in the center console. Overall, these captain chairs are very comfortable, basically just as comfortable as the front seats, and how much they move is absolutely fantastic too, because you've got a little lever here on the right that you pull it up and you can push them forward in case you got some adults in the rear too, or if you don't, you just got the kids, hey, I need all the room. Aside from that, you do have a couple kangaroo pouches, and man, they open up really far back here. But you've got 2 Type-C USB ports on both of the chairs here, so that's nice. That way your second row passengers have some power. And then I love where the air vents are placed on the Santa Fe, because on the B-pillar just makes so much more sense. Instead of being all the way over here trying to get my face and everything, I've just got it right here. And even with the door open, I can feel the air. I've got one more thing that I want to show you in the middle row of the Santa Fe, and it's actually on the door, because you know, those hot road trips in Florida, I've had enough of them. So you can put up this sunshade right here, and now it's nice and dark. I can take a nap, you know, it's perfect. All right, how about we head into the third row and see what's going on back there. I'm gonna keep my chair like this and see how easy it is. We'll pull this one up actually to see how that one goes, in case, you know, you've got some adults back there and, you know, everyone's got to be comfortable, right? So getting back here, it is a little bit of a squeeze. Overall, I mean, this is all the way back. So, you know, but my knees are a little bit in my chest. I mean, they're touching the seat. Overall, it's not all that bad though. Again, you've got a couple cup holders, another Type-C power outlet, and an air vent for your third row passenger here. Now it gets more interesting on the right-hand side, because see, you've actually got this dial here. So let's turn it on. And this controls how heavy this vent is pushing air back here. Now you can't control the climate per se, that's still done by your driver, so you're at the mercy of your driver, but you can control the fan strength. So I think that's awesome, because sometimes your kids are getting frozen out and they're complaining and everything. Well, now just tell them to turn the dial and stop complaining. But again, you've got another Type-C outlet and a 115 volt outlet. That's perfect. Great for charging your Nintendo Switch while you're going on a drive. But it doesn't stop there, because you know what? I'm not comfortable enough. So I'm gonna pull this here. There we go. Nice and comfortable now. Now we're talking. All right, so now we're at the rear of the Santa Fe, and I wanna know just how capable is it, if in case you have to move a TV or anything like that, right? It's a great grocery getter, because you know, you could perfectly fit grocery bags stacked up along here, going this way, and you fit about 8 of them. So that's not bad, pretty good for going to get groceries. You'll fit about 2 21-inch roller suitcases back here, nothing too crazy. But you know, if we do drop these, they do lay perfectly flat. So that's a big bonus there. What's going on under here? More storage and road assistance stuff, you know, in case you got to jack up your car because your low profile tire popped. Aside from that, we do have a 12 volt outlet over here on the left. On the right hand side, we've got some buttons to drop the seats up there. So you do get a pretty nice flat surface. It folds down nice and flat all the way up. Absolutely great. And another thing I really love about the rear hatch on the Santa Fe is look how giant this opening is, and it's basically a square. It doesn't like come in really heavy or anything, so you can actually fit a pretty decent sized TV in there after you get out of Best Buy. All right, well, now that we've got the hatch open, you know what we have to test, because I'm not sure just how safe the Santa Fe is. It's built for the family, but will it keep the family safe with all their fingers and nubbins? Well, let's check out. We've got our trusty eggplant here and a power gate, so let's see what kind of damage it does to it. Oh, that's not looking good. It wanted to crush down on that. You've got like a 1/2 inch divot there and another like 1/4 inch divot on the other side. That was pretty rough. All right, so that's everything that's going on the outside and inside of the 2025 Santa Fe. How about we hop on the inside in the driver's seat and see how she does. All right, now I'm behind the wheel of this 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy Edition. And you know, overall, the ride is just really pleasant. It rides just absolutely fantastic. You know, the only complaint that I have right off the bat would be its acceleration. It is there. It's not totally gone. But, you know, since this is only a 4-cylinder with a turbo, you of course have a little bit of turbo lag, and it's just a 4-cylinder for this big mid-size SUV. Also, do know that the hybrid editions are even more sluggish because they've actually got a dual motor setup. So basically when you stop, the engine turns off, and then the smaller engine kicks on the bigger engine while also trying to push the car forward. So it just feels all really delayed. So if you're trying to get speed, you're looking at the wrong vehicle. But man, the ride itself is just incredibly pleasant in this Santa Fe. Everything from the visibility to your seating position to the seat comfort itself. The steering wheel is also really pleasant, you know, and the visibility is just top notch because all the windows are straight up except for your front windshield. That one's obviously a little raked, but all the windows are straight up, and there's tons of them everywhere, big windows. So you can see absolutely everything that's going on around you. And if you have any trouble seeing anything, you also have 360 cameras. So visibility is not a concern at all. And you know, currently the tires that we have on it don't have much of a sidewall, so I am getting quite a fair amount of road noise. It's not terrible, but it's certainly there. No wind noise though, even at higher speeds, but you know, you do also get a lot of engine noise, especially when you're getting up towards those 5,000-6,000 RPMs. Aside from just the comfort and visibility, you know, and other things like that, a little bit more on the handling, I actually really do like how it steers. There's a good bit of resistance behind the steering wheel, at least when you're starting to turn. You do get some playroom here just in the center, and it's pretty easy to wiggle that back and forth, but not too bad at all. The brakes are really responsive and not squishy. Feels like they could put off a pretty good stop. Nice and safe there. Also, you know, because this is the calligraphy, it's just absolutely loaded with safety features. Not only does it have the heads-up display, it's got lane keep, it's got adaptive cruise control, you know, just everything that you come to expect in today's safety features and driver assistance add-ons. It's just got them all. You know, typically I am strongly against the touchscreen controls for especially heating and air in vehicles. However, this little touch panel, the 7-inch touch panel that we have here in the center console, it actually is quite easy to navigate. The buttons are responsive. I haven't had any trouble at all with it. And the best part is you're not digging through the infotainment center to get to them. They're still just always right there, and you can always get to them. So I think that's really handy. And I also do love that despite having to go through the touchscreen to do a lot of things, you can get to a lot of things with the menu buttons that are below it. So I don't think that really takes away from, you know, driver safety, because they're all still pretty easily accessible. All right, let's do the 0 to 60 test in this 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy Edition. We've got our race box set up. We've got it in sport mode. Let's see how she does. Little slow off the start, like mentioned. 30 in 2.98 seconds though, not too bad. And we get 60 in 7.44 seconds. Hey, for a mid-size SUV, that's pretty good, honestly. I mean, we've driven full EVs that are slower than that, or Civics that are slower than that, or, you know, so this 4-cylinder, it's putting in a bit of work. In terms of pricing, the Hyundai Santa Fe in 2025 is available in 5 different trim levels. The SE comes in at $35,615. The SEL comes in at $38,115. The XRT, $42,265. Limited, $45,015, and the Calligraphy, which we are driving today, starts out the door at $48,165. In conclusion, what do we think of the 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe? Well, it's a beautifully built vehicle. It's got loads of features. The interior is absolutely gorgeous, and it rides like a dream. Not to mention the price point is exactly there. For the cost of the vehicle, it really feels like you are getting a luxury car. Definitely worthwhile to go check it out. You should let us know in the comments what you think about it and if it's something that you would be up to driving. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.